Welcome to Simple Solar. Today I'm going to be going over how to do a battery capacity test on this new 12 volt 200 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery from Ampere Time. Look at this bad boy, super nice. We're going to actually be using a 10 amp charger which is from Ampere Time as well. I'll have the links in description for Amazon or links in the description below. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. So with this little charging device, we have a negative and a positive clamp that we're going to attach to the battery terminals. If you look here, you can see that there's an LED 1 and an LED 2. LED 1 just means that the device is receiving power. LED 2 will come on as soon as the battery is charging. We also got our voltmeter here, so we can actually measure the voltage of the battery. I'm going to set this thing here. Just make sure you're setting it to the correct voltage. This one is AC, this one's DC. So you want to make sure you have the right setting prior to doing it. And then you can just go ahead and just kind of attach those things there. So once you have them on both the terminals, you'll be able to see what our voltage is. It's 13.1 volts. So definitely want to get that a little bit higher. So now we'll go ahead and just connect these terminals. So you can hear the fan came on, and now that LED 2 light is red, meaning the battery is not charged. So we'll go and leave this thing charging for a little bit, and then we'll come back. Alright guys, so this battery is fully charged. The Ampere 10 amp charger actually turned off on its own. So we're going to go ahead and hook these up. We're actually going to test the voltage just to see where it's at right now. I'm going to turn on our voltmeter. And we're on AC or DC current. Whoops. So at 13.8. So that should be pretty good. We're going to turn that off. Now this product over here, this is pretty much, it's just a cheap heater. So what this thing will do, we're actually gonna, I've made my own little connectors here. We're gonna connect these to the battery terminals, and this is actually gonna pull electricity from the battery, but it's gonna record it as we do it. So as we plug this thing in, this thing's actually very cheap. I think I bought it on Amazon for like 50 bucks. I'll put a link in the description below. Usually when you first turn this thing on, it'll show up in Chinese, but you can just press the first button, and that'll actually kind of shift you through all the selections you can make. It'll take it from Chinese to English. So you just kind of work your way through which one works. This is like BL, like the backlight is on. This is saying like 300 volts. We're not using that much. You can just leave it as is. You can actually set this for like single cell if you're doing individual cells. To testing capacity, you can set that to, because they don't have a BMS. So you can set that specifically so it'll turn off. See, it went to Chinese. So just press it again. Now we're in English. I personally like this one because it shows you the watts, it shows you watt hours, it shows the total amp hours and everything. So with that being said, make sure these dials are turned all the way to the left before you begin. The most you can pull from this is 185 watts. So you want to make sure that you don't go over that, because if you do, it will automatically turn off and won't let you do it. So we're just going to remove the terminals here. And this is only 12 volts, so it's not really a shock hazard. Just make sure your hands are dry and you don't have any, you're not wet. So you're going to put these on. Sometimes you'll get a shock or a little spark, but at such low voltage it usually won't happen. All right, so we can go ahead and just going to tighten these on a little bit, nice and snug. All right, so what you can see here is now it has a reading on the battery, 13.7 volts. So all we're going to do is turn these knobs. Now this top knob is going to be the larger current that you can adjust. So you're just going to turn it up. You can see here that it's pulling 110 watts, and this is going to do it continuously. So you want to get it as close to 105 watts as you 185 watts as you can. So if you notice here we're at 151. Just go gently as you start to get closer, about 170 or so. You want to go ahead and start using this little dial. And see, now it's gonna up it. It's very slowly. So we're at 182 watts. We can get one more click. 183 watts. And then if you feel it over here, this is gonna give off heat. So it's pretty much just like a cheap heater. And then we'll pretty much just let this running. This is super safe. You can leave it on overnight, and it'll pretty much run this battery down until the BMS disconnects it, and you'll have a capacity test in the morning. This is actually going to be done at 182 watts. With this size battery, it's going to be about a 0.07 C test. The lower the C, the more accurate it is. So even if you were to do a 0.2 C, that's a pretty accurate test. But since this one's much lower, it'll be even more accurate. So yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll check on this in the morning. Good morning, everybody. So just to follow up, this is our official test results. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get a little closer. So this thing was able to pull 206 amp hours and 2.565 kilowatts. So this battery overperformed, and yeah, that's great. Fantastic. And again, this is a beginner friendly, super easy test that you can do. I'll provide the link in the description below for this item, and I hope you guys enjoy.